Hi, my name is John Barrett from PM Consultants. I'm joined here with Garrett Loesch, who's the Chief Financial Officer for the Borough of Tuckerton. Welcome, Garrett.
Thank you. Welcome here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We actually wanted to bring up a topic that not a lot of people understand, but during the budget process for a municipality, a few years ago, they came out with what's called a user-friendly budget. Now, the user-friendly budget was designed by the state to basically create a report that would compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. So when you look at a municipal budget, what used to be the regular document, which we still have to introduce and adopt, there's a supplemental report that basically takes all that information and basically summarizes it so you can see, an average resident can see exactly the changes year over year. It includes data for the outstanding debt service, which would otherwise be on the annual debt statement that we have to file. And this user-friendly budget, well, some people have said it's an unfriendly budget because it's just another layer of bureaucracy and another layer of data reporting that the state has. And certainly over the last few years, the user-friendly budget has been employed here. So tell us a little bit more about the user-friendly budget.
The user-friendly budget is for the budget writer, it's an oxymoron. I think for the residents, they've never really looked or cared too much to dig into it. I think the concept had a very, very good foundation. Much of the information in there has a very good, it supplies a lot of good, solid information. The state never made it as electronically easy as it should have been. So we manually have to draw the information step by step by step to fill out everything.
Yeah, in fact, some of the data that's in there is not only, as I mentioned, from the municipal budget, the annual financial statement, which we'll talk about later, but it basically brings all this data in, and the state is trying their best to kind of incorporate it, but certainly they're working on it at a slow pace. But one of the things with regard to the user-friendly budget and the way it was created was, if a state senator or assembly person were to contact the Division of Local Governmental Services and say, listen, I want you to compare appropriations from 5 different towns, 5 different cities, those folks at the division would actually have to pick up 5 different budget documents, and their job was now to condense it down to an apples versus apples. And that's one of the reasons why the state legislature passed the law to require this, so that within a database at the division, that if a senator or assembly person were to ask that question, they could hit a few buttons and come up with those things and basically link them in to the same data. Police salaries and wages compared to another municipality, debt service compared to another municipality. And as you said, some of the folks in our business have referred to this as the unfriendly budget, the user unfriendly budget, right? It's never...
It's not a simple piece of a document to put together. You have to draw things. Ironically, they don't teach you how to prepare the user-friendly budget when they're giving you the budget classes for your license. Right. You had to take those supplemental classes or schedules to try to learn it. To me, it's you do it once a year and you just dig in and get the information from it.
And the sad part for me, as far as the towns that we have to do this, is you go through this exercise and having to file it at the state, but ultimately, it seems like nobody ever uses it at the retail level. You never hear someone coming to a councilman and say, hey, how's your user-friendly budget today, right?
Even my council tend not to. They should be using that probably more than the physical budget. And it has your bond ratings. It has different things in there, and yet that question will arise at times, and just shows that no one's reading it. I remember one year I actually had a problem when I put it on the website. Only one page had copied over in this town, actually. And it was like 5 months later when I realized that it wasn't on the site properly, and yet not one person ever questioned or looked or That's the thing.
Because you know what, a normal municipal budget, whether you have utilities, certainly in this town, it could be 60, 70 pages. And to reduce that down to 9 or 10 pages of data, of that 9 or 10 pages, probably about 2 pages of that document actually condenses everything down. I think it's a great resource to use, but ultimately it is something that's not really viewed by the public. We have to post it on our websites and certainly with our municipal documents. So if you ever go to any municipality website, you're going to find the last 3 years of financial documents, one of which is the annual debt statement, the second one being the budget, also the annual financial statement and the user-friendly budget. These are mandates, at least you have to keep 3 years. And it's always a best practice for municipalities to certainly have other years back
Yeah,
there.
we try to keep, we redid our website last year, and we had probably 5 or 6 years worth in the old website, and it's a matter of getting them up to date and moved in. And it does create problems, just whoever the webmaster is, you got to get them the proper data to get and upload it in.
Sure, absolutely.
And it's like, okay, I got to do it again this year. I did it last year and the year before and the year before.
Right, because the state is actually checks on us at the local municipality level to make sure that those documents are up there. So that being said, I want to thank you for helping explain the user-friendly budget, explain the different sides of the user-friendly budget, but also encourage residents to take a look at the user-friendly budget, because folks
I would
like us...
encourage that.
Yeah, because folks like us, we spend a lot of hours preparing it, and no one ever looks at it. So once again, if you're coming to your municipality, go on their website, look for their annual debt statement, their budget, and the user-friendly budget, and even give their CFO a call and say thank you for preparing such a great document.
That would be special.
That would be special,
Yes,
for
it
sure.
would.
Thank you so much, Garrett, for joining us, and we'll be back to you shortly with another topic.